Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show with your host, Bill Shelton. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
You know, they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But sometimes some of the best things you do when you're in Las Vegas you get to take with you. And we're here today for the Michigan Golfer at the TaylorMade Golf Experience right on Las Vegas Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas, as you well know, is a wonderful place for shopping, dining, entertainment, nightlife, maybe a casino or two. And we've certainly enjoyed those while we've been here. But we've had the opportunity today to come to the TaylorMade Golf Experience and get a look at what's going on just down the strip that you need to include on your agenda next time you come to Las Vegas. Today we're going to talk to the retail store owner. We're going to talk to the sales representative from TaylorMade. We're going to talk to the operations manager about the golf course. And really fortunate for us today, and it's going to be a fun experience, we're going to have Dad go through a full fitting to see what goes through that process and what you can enjoy and what you can experience when you come to Las Vegas next time.
We're with Frank Blood, the certified master fitter for the TaylorMade Golf Experience here in Las Vegas. Frank, welcome to the Michigan Golfer. This is a very important part of the golf experience for most people who never take advantage of really being fitted for golf clubs rather than just buying some off the rack. Talk to us a little bit about why you believe this is such an important dimension of the game of golf.
Well, the golf club, Bill, is a really complex tool these days. We have graphite shafts, we have steel shafts, we have longer clubs and shorter clubs, and then we have players of various statures. By getting your clubs fit to you, we're assured that this club is going to in fact work properly day in and day out, give you the best results in improving your golf game.
You've been here for quite a few years in the area of Las Vegas, but this is a great facility.
It's one of 10 in the country. There are other facilities like this around the country, and it's the best way to get fit.
Now, for someone who's coming for the first time, and they come to you and they say, Frank, I want the total experience of being fit for driver, irons, putter, approximately how long a process would that take?
Well, it depends. Basically, a half hour to 1 hour is about what we're requesting of people. If they're going to just do an iron fit, that may take a half hour. If they're going to do the entire bag, that may take up to an hour.
We're going to go through a treat here. I'm going to go through an abbreviated version as Frank works with me looking at some fitting for the club to give you an idea of some of the things that Frank will be covering during this process. So we're going to put the mic down and we're going to just let him start, and Frank's going to go take a step-by-step through what would happen during this club fitting experience.
We'll do a static and a diagnostic fitting sequence where we'll find out what works best for you. Okay, Bill, welcome to the TaylorMade Golf Experience. What we're going to do today is we're going to take a static fit, and then we're going to do a dynamic fit based on how you hit the golf ball. So first off, I just want to have you stand your hands at your sides. I'm going to measure from the wrist to the floor. And you are pretty much right off the rack. 35 inches is basically a stock fit. We would normally have a chart that would show us at 37 inches, 36, 35, and so on. And that's basically going to help us out in regard to the length of the golf club and the lie angle of the club. We don't want the lie angle too upright, you'll hit it to the left. If it's too flat, you'll hit it off to the right. So we want to make sure that lie angle is correct, and in fact the golf club is the right length. So at this point, I want to have you hold the golf club as if you were addressing a golf ball. And the next thing we want to take a look at is how your athletic setup is to the golf ball. You may set up with a low setting with low hands, and in that case we may need to flatten the lie angle. Or conversely, you may stand very tall and upright and need to make the lie more upright. So right here we're looking at your normal address position, and we're seeing that the club is lying fairly flat across the bottom of the floor here. Now we'll further check that in a few moments just to make sure that that's correct, but this is a pretty good fit. You're an easy fit because you're fitting the stock set right off the rack here. Let's have a look now at a couple of shots, and we'll take a look at what flex is necessary and what materials or type of club it would be best for. Okay, Bill, now we're at the fitting process. We want to discuss what type of iron that you would probably be best fit in. There are different types of irons. For instance, we have the non-offset iron, and then we have a progressive offset iron. Now where that helps out is if you hit a little bit of a fade, the offset is going to help you straighten up that fade. What type of golf shot do you normally hit?
I have a tendency maybe to come over the top a little bit, but I hit a draw because I'm left-handed but play golf right-handed.
Okay.
So I have a strong left side.
So since you have a draw, we wouldn't want to magnify the draw with the offset. So I'm going to start you with a straighter face club. Now do you play steel shafts or graphite shafts at this time?
Right now I play regular graphite shafts.
Okay, so we probably want to stick with the regular graphite just as a starting point.
Okay.
So I have two graphite shafts here. The first one is the new SLDR iron from TaylorMade. It's a mid-size head with a cavity back design, and it has a speed slot in the bottom, which gives us a faster ball speed. A little higher shots and a little bit more forgiving in that bottom area where most of us have our miss hits.
Right.
This is also a progressive offset design, having a little bit less offset than the speed blade. So let's have you start with that one, and then we'll compare the speed blade to show what the difference would be between these two.
Okay.
Good swing. Very nice shot there, Bill. So we can see that your draw's coming into play there right on the first swing. Right at the line. Boy, really nice shot there. Now, you'll typically pick up somewhere between 5 and 7 mile an hour of club head speed between your first and your 10th swing as you're going along. But right now we see that you're swinging at 72 miles an hour. You'll probably get to 74, 75. So you're right at that borderline between stiff and regular. Now it comes down to what type of tempo you've got. If you are a quick swinging player from the top to the bottom, we might be more apt to put you in a stiffer flex. But if you swung real smooth like Ernie Els or somebody of that nature, that's smooth swing tempo, we go with the softer one. Okay, Bill. Well, what we've done is we've gathered the data with the Foresight GC2, which is a camera-based system. We'll take a look at that data up here on the screen, and we'll see if we can get a better fit for you regarding which club would work best. Okay? Look up at the screen here. I'll bring up the shots that you were hitting. We have the first one, which was SLDR iron, and you were swinging at about 72.8 miles an hour. You had one at 67, and then 73, 73, 63. That was kind of a miss hit there, and then back up to 72. And then when we switched to the other club, had a little bit lighter shaft in it, 65 grams. So you were swinging at 75, 74, 75, and part of that's due to the fact that you were getting loosened up. Okay? We take a look at the launch angles on those 7 irons. You were up around 20 degrees. That's a really good launch angle for the 7 iron. We take a look at the peak apex of those shots with your swing speed being somewhere around 30 yards high would be fantastic. 25 to 30 yards high is going to give us a golf shot that sticks around the flagstick instead of bounding towards the back of the green. Okay, so you were carrying the ball 153, 154, 153, and fairly consistent on the left and right offline. It looked like you were hitting one a little bit higher than the other one, and that's a determining factor. We want that nice, high, soft shot. And as you get further away from the green, that becomes all more important. At some point, you may not hit the irons quite as high as you need to, and the ball would just bound or overlap the former club. At that point, we want to switch to a different design of a club, and that's part of the fitting process as well. We want to help you with what clubs in the bag work best for you, and that will be different for various different player profiles. Okay, very good. So taking a look at this data, it looks like the speed blade iron had a little bit of performance for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a comparative analysis head-to-head here. I'm going to clean up your shots. Okay. So we'll take the 2 miss hits that you had, and that's another facet of the golf swing. We want the club that gives you the most consistent results with the minimal amount of effort, so that you can focus on the golf course and not about your golf clubs. Okay, so you had 1 miss hit here. I'm just going to delete that. That's not indicative of your normal golf swing. That's a pretty good assessment there. And then we'll compare the 2 clubs. I'm going to click here, bring up the SLDR iron. This is another wonderful facet about the Foresight equipment is I can compare your club against the other club that you wanted to try and take a look at this data side by side. Now we can really see the differences between these 2 clubs. You can see the apex of these shots here is much higher with that 2nd iron that you were hitting and coming down a little bit steeper. Now in distance, distance was not that much difference, about 3 yards, but that higher ball flight is a major factor. Now, for some folks, it may be a difference of 10 yards between one club design and another, and that's where this really takes hold. Okay, great work.
That's fabulous information. Thank you, Frank.
You bet. Okay, so Bill, we've now got a basis that this club is working best for you. We want to confirm that the lie angle is correct. Now we've got the correct shaft, the correct flex, the correct club design, but we want to confirm that the lie angle is correct by using a lie board and a lie marking tape. So I'm going to place this on the bottom of the club. I'm going to have you hit one shot, and then we're going to take a look at where that's hitting on the bottom of the golf club.
Okay.
Now our lie board is actually going to lie to us about the thickness of the board, but we'll go ahead and cover it from there. All right, go ahead and give me a full swing just as normal.
Okay, I can
Swing away there. Very good. We'll take a look at the bottom of the club here. And you're covering right across the entire bottom, pretty square there. Okay. You're kind of hitting the leading edge of the club, which means you're kind of a digger, kind of a digger sweeper as they get to the longer clubs, but on the short clubs, kind of a digger. Not bad. So we're looking at this light tape marking. It marks from here to here. That's a pretty good indication that we've got the right fit for you. But just to make sure, we're going to confirm outdoors and make sure you're getting that ball flight outdoors. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay. Well, Bill, I appreciate you taking participation in our abbreviated club fitting today. I would just want to see a few shots outdoors here to confirm what we saw indoors is in fact what you have outdoors.
I don't know.
Excellent.
Frank, one time. Thank you, buddy. That's all we need. Thank you.
That was phenomenal.
Well, that's just a small part of the club fitting process that Frank takes his people through with different levels of clubs, from everything from driver, hybrid, irons, putters. But it gives you an idea of the difference it can make in your swing if you use a club fitter. Frank, come in and give us an idea of what you found out about me and what we can do for the future.
Hello again, Bill. Well, so far, based off your abbreviated fit, I've got a set recommendation based off of that. And we would like to run you into a 12-degree SLDR driver. Now, since you hit a draw, we are going to have some fit settings on there, like the fade bias on the weighting. We're going to set it up at the lower setting, which opens the face. So you would end up with a 10-5 loft at 3 degrees open to soften that hook miss that you would have. We'd progress down into the fairway woods, recommending a 3-wood and a 5-wood, 15 and 19 degrees, also regular flex. We're going to lower the loft on that, which is going to open the face 1 degree, 1 notch in the lower setting. Then we're going to progress to the hybrid, which is a lot easier to hit than the long irons. And we're going to recommend a 4 hybrid, which starts at 21 degrees. But we're going to set that up at the lower setting. This is going to actually play as your 3 iron, 3-4 combination. So we're going to set it up at the lower setting, which is going to make it a 3-degree open face with a 19.5 degree loft. And then, as we discerned from the speed blades that you tried, you mentioned 4 through pitching wedge. I'm going to say that the 5 through the pitching wedge would be a better recommendation, as we've got different spacings on that to give you that 10 to 12 yard carry difference, and this will roll right into that 4 hybrid setting. And then we want to recommend a gap wedge, sand wedge, lob wedge, and your putter of choice. All of these are in standard regular flex. And maybe 1 wrap on the grips, which we didn't touch about, but the grips are important as well. You mentioned something to me about where you play, that you have the privilege of playing Pinehurst. How awesome is that?
Well, you know, it is a great experience. And, of course, recently we had the 2 U.S. Opens there.
Yeah.
And there has been quite a little modification to the course, and there's going to be even more as they change from bent to Bermuda greens in the future. But, you know, this sounds pretty complicated in a sense, just from an abbreviated fitting. This is really some fascinating information about taking a 12-degree loft and bending it down instead of just having a 10.5 degree and all that. So we see these huge vans on the practice days before these pros tournaments, and we see different times pros going in there. if this is sophisticated for an amateur like me, what are the things that the pros are looking at when they go from course to course? And most, let's use the course number 2 at Pinehurst. I mean, what would be the kind of thing they would be thinking about from a club situation going in to play that tournament?
First off, I want to preface that with the guys that work on the tour vans, they're more adept at giving this information. However, what we've noticed is that typically when the guys go from course to course, they'll start from the green and work back to the tee box, just like they're surveying around the golf course what type of golf course that is, whether it be a links golf course, whether it be on the coast, whether it have soft greens, or like the golf course at the Open where you've got those domed greens that are really firm. They're going to take a look at the green speed. So they'll have an analysis machine like what we've got, or their person that they work with, to discern whether they've got the right loft on the putter, getting that stroke down for the speed of those greens. The other thing that they're going to do throughout the week while they're out practicing is they're going to take a look at the reception of those greens, whether there are deep pitch marks or whether the greens are firmed up. That's going to discern whether they're going to be able to take in a high ball or be able to come with a lower ball flight, a little more spin. So as they work back to the tee box, they're then going to take a look at which clubs they're going to pull out or put in, whether it be a 5-wood or the 3 hybrid or the 2 hybrid off the tee, depending on how narrow it is or what course management they have. And that would basically be the difference. Whereas for the average player, we're going to be looking for one assessment of clubs that you can play just about any style of golf course with and have fun, and then still make some recommendations that on this style of golf course, it might be better that you do throw in a lower flighted, long hitting iron off the tee or a hybrid of that nature. So it's a lot of challenge to those players out from week to week, but they sure make an easy work of most golf courses, I'll tell you.
They really do. Well, you can get a sense of the importance of club fitting and just the information that came from this abbreviated session that we had. You can just see, even with my own swing as an amateur, how much information and changes could be made to make my golf game a more pleasant experience. Thanks, Frank, for helping me out on this.
Anytime, Bill. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
We're here at the TaylorMade Golf Experience in Las Vegas, just down the strip from the casinos, the hotels, and we're lucky to have with us today Rick Phillips. Rick is the customer service sales representative for TaylorMade Golf, TaylorMade and Adidas Golf here in Las Vegas, a native of the Midwest, Cincinnati area. Tell us a little bit, Rick, if you would, about your experience in the golf business and maybe what brought you to Las Vegas.
Well, being from the Midwest, the thing that brought me to Las Vegas was the weather. I got tired of this last winter, so here I am. But prior to this, I'd been on the sales side for about 12 years, and I was a golf pro for another 8 prior to that.
Well, Rick, you had mentioned the weather. Of course, part of the reason we're doing this is because when those cold winters do come up in the Midwest, all the people in our audience really do enjoy getting out and playing a little golf, and there's a lot of good golf in this area. And I know they might be coming out for that reason and maybe some other reasons. But also, they have an opportunity for this TaylorMade Golf Experience, and I hear that you're not done with the enhancements that you're going to make. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit later about the facility, but there's some more enhancements coming to make this even a better experience for today's golfer. Tell us about those enhancements, please.
Well, it's kind of cool because to have a facility this close to the hotel corridor, it's real easy to get in and out of, and it doesn't take up your whole day. But if you look behind us, you can kind of see some folks hitting back there. We are putting in 4 fitting bays. A couple of them are going to be self-serve. A couple of them are going to be run by fitters. You're going to be able to kind of look at data for yourself, get someone to help you out a little bit. But we're also going to drop in a tour trailer. So you're going to be able to come out, schedule your fitting, spend an hour, hour and a half getting what you need, maybe go inside, grab a drink, and have your clubs built for you while you wait.
So, Rick, the trailers will be just like what we see when the guys on tour stop in at the tour stops and they want to get some new grips, change a shaft, get a new head. And that's going to allow you that opportunity not only to get fitted, but also to get your clubs, put them right back on the plane when you head back to Michigan, be ready to go.
Well, I think the neat thing about it is you're going to be able to get them built and go play with them later that day if you want, or we'll send them home, whatever we got to do. But, I mean, it's a really cool experience to have that service and be able to have your stuff built while you wait.
What's the time frame on that change, please, Rick?
We hope to have that all done by first week of October.
First week of October, just in time for those cold Midwest winters.
Exactly.
Well, Rick, we really appreciate you taking a little time with us today. Congratulations on your new position here at Las Vegas, and thanks for showing us around and being a host today.
Anytime.
Well, we're still here at the TaylorMade Golf Experience in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're happy to have joining us now the operations manager of this facility for the last 3 years, Kenneth Stauffer. Also has some Midwest blood in him as well, being from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, yes.
Kenneth, how are you today?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing really well, having a great time at this experience. The weather is beautiful. The facility is beautiful. Kenneth, as the operations manager, tell us a little bit about what you're in charge of at the TaylorMade Golf Experience.
My main job is to make sure everyone who comes out to play our course or play on the driving range has a great time. Customer service is always #1 here with us. I also coordinate leagues and group events and bachelor parties, whatever you guys want, we can take care of it.
Well, tell us a little bit about the experience. I think a lot of people think it's just a fitting experience, but there's a whole lot more to do here. You can make a day out here, Kenneth.
Absolutely.
Take me around your facility a little bit and just tell me about some of the things you got going on that aren't the fitting necessarily, not inside the pro shop, but out here on the grounds.
Absolutely. We have Las Vegas's largest driving range, which you can see a little bit behind me. It's a 2-tiered, 4-section driving range with 113 matted stalls, and then we have a 50-stall driving range that you can hit off real grass. As well as a 10-hole putting green and a separate chipping and putting area so you can get a full practice in. And then we have, of course, the 9-hole par 3 golf course, which is fully lit all the way up till 9 o'clock at night.
So on those hot Las Vegas days, if I feel like coming out and get a late round in, I might be able to come down when the sun's down and still play 9 holes out here. Now, the 9 holes that you have, a par 3, tell us a little bit about the holes. What's the shortest hole you have? What's the longest hole you have?
The shortest hole we have is hole 3. It's about 120 yards from the ladies' tees. And then we have our longest, which is hole 8, 185. We have 2 holes that go over a ravine, so it creates a little bit of a challenge for our players, as well as multiple sand traps, so it's not just easy up and down.
So you've got really pretty much everything you have on a golf course. It's not just a bunch of grass out there in Las Vegas amongst some sand, but sand traps, undulating greens, tee options, golf carts.
Golf carts, we have golf carts you can rent with coolers, pool carts, and then you're more than welcome to walk, just carrying your bag if you want.
Now, as we were driving in, Kenneth, I noticed that it was a very affordable experience. I mean, everybody comes to Vegas and you start thinking you're going to shell out the big money, but it seems like a very affordable experience for everybody. Just give us in general kind of ballpark for us. If you want to come out and spend the day out here, maybe hit some balls, maybe play 9, what would something like that cost our viewers?
Right now during the summertime we do a happy hour special. It's $25. You get a round, golf cart, and 2 drinks for only $25. In this wintertime when it kind of cools down at nighttime and in the mornings, during the day we'll do a play all day special. So it'll be $22. You get unlimited number of rounds and unlimited number of range balls between 9 and 4. You just pay the $22 and you can go around as many times as you want.
That's as good a part of the experience, I think, as any of this has been. We've moved inside here at the TaylorMade Golf Experience into the retail store, and we're having join us right now the retail store manager, Scott Pastoral. Scott, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Well, we appreciate this. We certainly appreciate your hospitality today as well. Now, I'm looking around. Now, if you want a TaylorMade Golf Experience, an Adidas Golf Experience, this is it. Walk us through the shop. How many square footage of merchandise do you have here?
Well, right now we're about 8,000 square feet, TaylorMade and Adidas. That's our primary function, is finding you the right stuff in TaylorMade and Adidas. Both shoes, hard goods, bags, anything in that vernacular we have.
So is there anything you don't? I mean, I look around, I see all the new clubs, I see some of the clubs that I'm familiar with, some of the clubs that I play, the rocket balls here, the clothing. I guess this is where TaylorMade shows off all of its wares.
Absolutely. We are TaylorMade in this side of the world. So the nice part for us is being TaylorMade with a Las Vegas Strip view. Anything that TaylorMade has, we have. Well,
Scott, we talked a little bit about the soft goods. And the Adidas apparel that you have, and of course when we're watching TV we see all these guys on TV wearing all the latest stuff. It certainly looks like you've got it, Scott, here in this shop. Tell us a little bit about the soft goods you carry from Adidas.
So we are a full-line Adidas, also Ashworth apparel, which is TaylorMade. We have men's, women's, and kids, and we always are trying to keep the absolute latest. And the tour apparel, you'll see our mannequins dressed normally in the same stuff the tour guys have worn that week.
They've already had that on, so you come right in here and get that probably year-round.
If we only had the same swing, we can have the same clothes. But if we had the same swing, we'd be better.
Well, don't they tell you the clothes make the man, so maybe that's exactly what it is.
Better to look good than to play good.
I agree with that.